Allez, démarre.
Sans sandwich, baguette.
Salut.
Je te demande du ND. Parle.
T'aimes la tisane?
Ça peut te foutre.
Meet Carol and Alex. Right now, they're hanging out in Switzerland. At first glance, it looks like Alex is just chilling while Carol gets a workout. But the reality? They're in the middle of a major heist. Carol is sneaking out of a super secure building, and Alex is supposed to have her back. The only problem? A personal crisis pops up. Alex's boyfriend decides this is the perfect time to break up with her. Alex refuses to be dumped via text, which means she's way too distracted to focus on Carol. Lost in relationship drama, she totally drops the ball, and Carol ends up wandering off course. Carol tells her it doesn't matter how he says it. She's still getting dumped. But Alex won't accept that and keeps bugging her almost ex, Kim, about meeting in person. Once that's settled, she finally turns her attention back to Carol and helps her get to the getaway car. As they drive off, Carol can't help but rant about all the red flags in Kim's behavior, trying to convince Alex that she's dodging a bullet. But there's no time to dwell on love-life drama, because security drones have locked onto them. Those things don't just track them, they start shooting. Carol and Alex swap places so Alex can fire back, but she's still not fully in the game. Carol decides to use that to their advantage and tells her to picture Kim's face on each drone. That actually works, and Alex takes them out one by one. But every time they think they're in the clear, another one shows up. It's endless. If they wanted this much stress, they get a regular job. Finally, they complete the mission and escape in style. Parachutes and all. Fast forward, and Carol's at a doctor's appointment. Turns out, she's 6 weeks pregnant, which means she doesn't have much time to figure out what to do next. But before she deals with that, there's the small matter of those diamonds they just stole. While Carol negotiates, Alex is stuck dealing with some thugs who think they can outsmart them. Their excuse? They already handed the money over to their big boss, the godmother. Carol and Alex decide it's time for a direct conversation with their employer. The godmother isn't your average crime boss. She's over the top and loves being in charge. When Carol tries to say she wants out, the godmother just laughs. She reminds Carol that money is everything and that she can ruin her life in an instant. Carol knows arguing is pointless, so she and Alex, plus Carol's pet bunny, take off to lay low. Their hideout? Not some rundown cabin in the woods. Nope, this place is top tier, a high-tech sanctuary hidden by mirrored walls. Perfectly disguised. They spend the day unwinding and brainstorming how to leave this life behind. But before they can figure it out, they come under attack. In the dead of night, gunmen start firing at their walls. The cool thing? The bullets don't break through. The bad thing? These guys clearly have next-level tech. It's only a matter of time before they find another way in. And unfortunately, the bunny gives away their secret exit. The attackers storm in, and poor little Santos the rabbit doesn't make it. Alex is furious and swears she'll get revenge. With nowhere left to hide, Carol tries one last time to reason with the godmother. No luck. Instead, she's forced into one final job. She throws out a price, $2 million, and demands to know why her friend was targeted. The godmother doesn't answer, just starts explaining the new mission. The job's in Corsica, and there'll be plenty of time to enjoy the island while they're there. Carol is allowed to pick her own crew. A guy named Abir fills them in on the details. They need to steal a painting from a convent before it gets shipped back to Paris. Abir is not exactly a genius. He barely has any useful information. No floor plans, no security details. All he knows is the painting's name, the Grande Odalisque. Carol and Alex aren't impressed. At least they're not breaking into the Louvre. Then, Alex finds out Carol hired a getaway driver. She takes that as an insult, thinking Carol doesn't trust her driving skills. We get a little flashback of an incident in Poland that explains why everyone's nervous about her being behind the wheel. Turns out the new driver is Sam. Alex grumbles the entire way to meet her, expecting some hotshot guy, but surprise, it's a girl. When they arrive, Sam is literally getting fired from another job. Perfect timing. Abir conveniently forgot to mention that Sam isn't even a criminal yet. Carol has to talk her into joining the team, while Alex keeps trying to pick a fight. They arrive in Corsica, and the house they're staying in is stunning. The godmother wasn't kidding when she said she'd sweeten the deal. If this is truly their last job, at least they're going out in style. Sam picks the best room, and Alex challenges her to an arm wrestling match for it. We don't see what happens, but next thing we know, Alex is stuck in a kid's bedroom. Later, they meet an arms dealer named Clarence. Alex starts showing signs she's over Kim. She's way too interested in Clarence. Carol, however, immediately points out the red flags. Not his job or his criminal connections. Those are fine. The deal breaker? His ugly sandals. Over dinner, Alex notices Carol hasn't been drinking. Carol brushes it off. But later, Alex catches her eating pickles in the middle of the night. Carol has always hated pickles. Alex's mind races. Then she jumps to the wrong conclusion. Menopause. Carol is not amused. She's only 39. The next day, Sam asks how Carol and Alex became a team. Carol explains it all started with a diamond heist when Alex was just 14. Even back then, Carol had a gut feeling she could trust her. Hopefully, Sam will feel the same way soon. Right now, she's just trying to survive Alex's brutal training sessions. Taking a break from crime, the girls spend a day shopping and soaking in the scenery. Carol sees a baby in a stroller and can't help but smile. Later that night, she makes a big decision. She calls the doctor and says she's keeping the baby. It's a tough choice, but hey, she's 2 million richer now. Meanwhile, Sam's getting better at handling weapons, but worse at staying awake during dinner. Alex admits she pushes her a little too hard for fun. Then, out of nowhere, Carol starts crying. Her pasta is too salty. Alex is totally caught off guard, but tries to comfort her. Once Carol calms down, she announces that Sam is ready for her first real mission. The plan? Steal the convent's blueprints. Should be simple, as long as they don't set off the alarm. Sam's inexperience is their only concern. She struggles with using comms, constantly looking out the window where Alex is watching from. Alex yells at her to stop. So, Sam heads into the building while Alex guides her through an earpiece. She sneaks into some guy's office and downloads the blueprints onto her phone. As soon as the transfer is complete, she starts hyping herself up, bragging about her natural talent. First mission? Crushed it. But Alex quickly shuts her down, reminding her that this isn't even the real job. It's just a workaround because Abner is too much of a mess to get them what they actually need. Just as they're talking, a group of men approaches the office. Alex whispers for Sam to stay quiet and, without missing a beat, knocks them all out with tranquilizers. Sam stares at the pile of unconscious bodies, a little stunned. But any sympathy she might have had disappears when one of the guys starts waking up. Alex, seeing an opportunity to make a point, drags things out a bit, pretending she's out of ammo just to show Sam how serious things can get. Meanwhile, Sam is frozen in place, helplessly watching as the guy reaches for a big red button. And just like that, alarms start blaring. With no time to waste, Sam bolts to her bike, barely waiting for Alex to hop on before she speeds off. Now, the roles are reversed. Alex is the one clutching on for dear life while Sam does what she does best: reckless, high-speed getaways. By the time they stop, Alex is shaking her head, pointing out that they probably just raced across Corsica in record time, even though no one was actually chasing them. But when they finally hand over the files to Carol, she has to admit that Sam did a decent job. To celebrate, she playfully shoves Sam into the pool. As a reward for their work, Carol promises to take them out for a fun night. Later, Alex decides to rollerblade, because why not? She also seems very determined to accidentally run into Clarence, and Sam and Carol don't hesitate to tease her about it. While they're messing around, a guy sitting alone at a table starts watching them. He follows them to a street party later that night. At the party, Alex is dancing with Clarence, and things heat up quickly between them. Meanwhile, Sam finds a cute girl, but after a few drinks, she ends up sitting next to Carol and opening up about her past. She talks about her girlfriend who recently died in a car crash, how they were completely in love, and how, in an instant, her whole world collapsed. It suddenly makes sense why she's willing to dive into a life like this. She's got nothing left to lose. But while they're caught up in their own moments, that mysterious guy is still lurking. Turns out he's not just after Alex, he's also targeting Clarence. At first, Clarence is hesitant about whatever is going down, but Alex convinces him to go with the flow. Just when things seem to be getting interesting, the guy throws a punch straight into Clarence's face, knocking him out cold. Then, he goes after Alex, trying to strangle her. Big mistake. They get into a brutal fight, and the guy quickly starts regretting his choices. By sunrise, Alex and Clarence are dumping what's left of him into the river. Clarence finally confesses he's a wanted man. Alex brushes it off like it's no big deal, not even mentioning the fact that the guy was clearly after her. They pick up right where they left off, and Clarence is already completely smitten. He even manages to track down the Albanians responsible for killing Alex's rabbit. Their boss, Skender, is a dangerous man living in Bardi, and Clarence warns Alex to be careful. Meanwhile, Carol is enjoying some sun when she's suddenly shadowed by an unexpected visitor, the godmother. She says she's missed her and then casually brings up Sam, asking if she's shaping up to be a good recruit. Maybe it's time to replace Alex? Carol, not giving anything away, simply says she wants both girls to stay. When Alex returns, she says nothing about the hitman and is only focused on getting revenge for her bunny. She ropes Carol and Sam in her mission, reassuring them they'll be back in time for their next heist. Now, we all know this is a terrible idea. The person who killed that rabbit was acting under the godmother's orders. But Alex doesn't care. She's running on pure emotion, and logic doesn't stand a chance. She takes position while Carol and Sam approach Skinder, pretending to be dancers looking for work. Skinder, confused but intrigued, doesn't recall posting an audition, but he's also not the type to say no to two pretty women. Their performance is so captivating that it takes him forever to realize that all his guards are dropping one by one. Alex saves the best for last, taking out the man responsible for her bunny's death with a perfect shot. Back in Corsica, Alex finally lets her guard down around Sam. She played a key role in this mission, earning her spot on the team, and in Alex's heart. Taking advantage of the moment, Carol drops a bombshell. She's having a baby. At first, Alex thinks she's joking, but when she realizes it's real, they celebrate together. That is, until Carol starts listing potential baby names, then they just make fun of her. With Abner waiting for them at a farm, it's time to go over the next mission's details. The plan is to steal a painting from the top floor of a convent, which will be mostly empty at night. Sam will wait in the car, while the others handle the inside job. When Carol asks how they're getting in, Abner simply says, Trojan horse strategy. Meanwhile, he'll be nearby running a food truck. Predictably, Abner is the first to mess things up, dropping his earpiece into a sauce container. Then, Alex, tired of waiting inside an angel statue, which yes is their Trojan horse, decides to move ahead without his signal. Suddenly, a bunch of trailers pull up and dozens of people start flooding in. Turns out a music video is being shot at the convent tonight. The place is now crawling with crew members, lights, and cameras. While Sam keeps getting hassled to move the car, Alex and Carol push forward. Carol starts cutting out the painting while Alex takes down anyone who stumbles in. By the time Abner fixes the communication issue, it's pointless. The girls are already walking out the front door, painting in hand. The next morning, Alex announces she's been dumped. Again, Clarence is moving to Mexico, but she's not too torn up about it. At least there's a baby on the way. But Carol knows the truth. The godmother will never let them go. 2 days later, Sam and Alex take position while Carol delivers their last job. The godmother looks different now, eerily similar to Carol, almost as if she's trying to confuse any potential snipers. Carol signals Alex, directing her shot, and Alex, thinking she's aiming for a bodyguard, fires. But instead, she takes down the godmother herself. Chaos erupts. The godmother's forces swarm the area, and Alex realizes what she's done. She tries to protect Carol, but they're outnumbered. Carol tells Alex to stop. There's no way she's making it out. At least now, Alex and Sam are free. As police close in, Carol ensures they won't take her alive. 4 years later, Alex is living in the middle of nowhere, growing tomatoes like a total hermit. Sam shows up, annoyed that they've barely kept in touch. But she's not alone. She's brought someone with her. A little boy named Raul. And his mother? Carol. After 4 years of grief, Alex has to resist the urge to slap them both. But ultimately, joy wins out over anger. And that's where this story ends. This was a recap of the 2023 Netflix France movie Wing Woman. Who do you think had the hardest job in the heists?